Mr. Buzo here with a very quick demonstration on how to do alternator output testing using the DMM and the amp clamp. So what we're going to do to start this test is we're going to turn our amp clamp to volts DC. We're going to plug in the amp clamp into the volts port. As has been instructed, the amp clamp doesn't measure amperage, it measures magnetism. And so when we turn this on, any magnetism passing through the clamp will send a voltage signal to my multimeter. Once I have this amp clamp turned on, we can, if appropriate, use this little adjustment dial to zero out our meter. I'm satisfied with the 1.4 millivolts reading there. We can just subtract that from our final value. But we're going to take the amp clamp, wrap it around the alternator output cable there. And now we are set up to check to see how much draw there is when the engine is running. Vehicle now running. I can come over here. The initial draw is going to be a little bit higher because we're trying to charge the battery, but as the idle starts to settle, we can see that we are pulling around 13 amps. I know it says millivolts, but I'm smarter than the tool. I know that there are 13 or so amps being pulled from the alternator to charge this battery. Now, if I wanted to increase the RPM to 2000 RPM on this particular vehicle, I can just do that right here at the throttle cable. Increase the RPM to approximately 2000. We should not see very much change because all we've adjusted was just the RPMs. The voltage regulator should help stabilize that voltage. The only time we'll see an increase in amperage or alternator output is when there are additional electrical loads applied to the vehicle. We're going to do that now. On this particular vehicle, we can turn on the headlamps. We can turn on the blower motor. We'll throw on the hazards. And we'll come back around. And we can see that already we are now drawing approximately 35 amps through this vehicle. If the condenser fans or any other accessories want to turn on while we're doing this test, we'll see an increase in amperage there. I'm going to increase the RPM to 2000 again, give or take. And there we can see we were pulling close to 50 amps. That has been a brief demonstration on alternator output testing.